Western Conference podcast live on location from the 808 State. Boots on the ground tour, sold out Maui and Oahu, and we are here with my brothers from Maoli. How we doing, brothers?
Salud, salud.
Cheers to that. And we got my brother Wastafa in the building. Yeah. We are here in the 808. We just left Maui, and now we're here. 2 sold out shows, boots on the ground. How does it feel?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Because Maui, the homecoming was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Because you just coming back home, you got to tell us how that, like, nostalgia for you coming back from, doing shows there and up and coming in Maui to coming selling it out and coming back home to where you're at now.
Always a special place, man, for me. Yeah, because we used to watch concerts all the time.
Yeah.
That's the only place because we didn't travel.
Yeah.
We only got to watch concerts in Maui. So when we were at the MAC, we would watch, man, all kind of UB40, Steel Pulse, all the OGs, and to finally go there and sell it out yourself.
Yeah.
It's a really.
Are home shows harder than like regular shows? Like, it has to be, right? Because you got all the family and friends over there. It's
the guest list is harder.
Yeah. Your guest list and Fiji's guest list. So well, that's besides the point. What about you, kind of coming back home for you? Like, how was it to kind of say, man, selling out the MAC and now we the headliners for it?
Well, it's just something like all the friends and family that ask, like, what do you guys do on the road?
Yeah.
What happened? So
yeah,
it's a very good thing bringing back, like bringing the show back home and showing them this is what the road is. It's what we do every night,
Yeah.
Something like that,
But take us back to like when you weren't selling out the shows, like how this whole come about for music, come for you guys to like even for this to come about?
Yeah, well, music was always around me from my grandmother, actually.
Yeah.
My grandmother always played music, and we just listened to the radio all the time. And then I was a drummer.
Yeah.
At first.
Wes was telling me that.
That's how I started. I would be drumming on buckets and using brooms to give that hi-hat sound and stuff like that. And then I got introduced to the ukulele. That was in about, I think, like 6th grade or something like that. And then I would take the poly class, which was like Polynesian music, where you teach ukulele pretty much.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like 8th grade or 7th or 8th grade, the poly teacher asked us to sing a song in front of the class. I didn't think I had a great voice. I just kind of knew. I think I could sing. And so when I had to sing in front of the class for my final grade, I sang, and all the girls went wild.
Come on. Come on.
I think it was like either 12 or 13, I think.
The voice is still high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Ralph T and that young Michael going on.
Take us back though. So where are you guys from?
Yeah.
I am from Haiku Maui. It's in the country right there.
I was raised up in Maui, pretty much Paneolo town, Paneolo country.
You said from kid time, right?
Well, for high school. Yeah, high school. This guy was the captain of the football team, captain of the basketball team, and
Kind of look like he still could do a couple downs right now. I'll tell you that, right? He can second quarterback every now and then. I remember when I first met Connor when you guys came to the Bay Area. I was like, kind of a big motherfucker. And then he was playing the band. I was like, hey, he was doing what he do. So that's how the came with you guys about.
It was in school, and then my cousin, Akoni, actually. He was, he was always telling me, man, you got to enter the talent competition out here. And I was like, I don't want to do that stuff, man. I'm good, man. And I said, no, we should try. So we put together a band with me, him, my other brothers, and Connor.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing it. We won it. Then we ended up going to the finals, which is like all the schools get together and do it.
Oh, so like it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was like a big deal. And then we won that one, and we got our first recording, I guess.
Like deal.
Yeah, if you want to call it. Yeah.
What was the name of the band at that time?
No Boundaries is what we call it.
No Boundaries. Who came up with the name? That was like Connor's wrestling name or something? You know Mean Gene? No Boundaries.
No, man, I think it was our friend.
Yeah, our friend Shane.
Yeah, friend Shane came up with it, yeah.
So No Boundaries is winning competitions in Maui. You guys are starting to get things together. Like, when are you saying that we could maybe do this seriously? Because you guys obviously have to still be, life is lifing.
Yeah, because I was, we were playing football. And I was, we worked during the summers, I was always working hard jobs ever since I was little, man. Either
like labor jobs.
Like I used to pick like pineapples, and if you know about that, that's a hard working job right there. And
picking pineapples, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, in Maui, yeah, for sure. And always just working in the country, man.
Yeah,
pigs and cows and goats and all.
Country boy for real.
Country boy for real.
Talk about the country life, man.
It's very simple, you know. It's hard work every day, and it's just that's all I can. It's just simple living, man. You know.
Connor, you was a country boy too?
Yeah. Country boy. Actually, my ohana is actually from the east side of Maui. It's a little town called Keanai.
Yeah.
A little fishing village, you know. Grow taro growing up, you know. Working on taro patch. Got a grandma's
badass fisherman. I'm just gonna tell you.
Badass fisherman too. You was like just putting your head in there and with biting them and coming up with the fish in your mouth. Well, like, where'd the musical background start for you, Connor?
Me, actually, my auntie guys and uncle guys, they played music in church. I didn't even know. Like,
yeah,
growing up, it was always sports for me. Really,
yeah.
Music was just something we did for like
hobby.
Yeah, or like get-togethers.
Yeah.
Or if you're in school, pick up the ukulele, sing on for the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never really thought about making money professionally playing music. It was just,
And what did the transition to Maoli?
So that came after high school.
So, but it's still no boundaries up until then.
No boundaries. After high school, we started to play everywhere, and we actually linked up with Ekolu.
Oh, nice.
Keller wanted to work with me at one time, and I didn't work out there because I ended up moving to New York to follow my ex-wife.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. So you moved from Maui to New York.
To New York.
Yeah.
Straight for the country into the biggest city.
The Big Apple.
Yeah, the Big Apple, man. That was crazy. I didn't last too long.
Yeah, yeah.
But I moved there, and we didn't like it, so I ended up moving back. And I called my uncle because I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. And so he gave me his job. And it's crazy because he's into landscaping and construction and all that stuff. So I was doing that. And he told me, nephew, like, you don't want to play music anymore? And I was like, I'm good. I'd rather just work hard and support my girl and maybe make a family one day. He's like, okay. And then, it's a hard job too. You're always sweating, doing stuff. And he tells me, hey, listen, nephew, I got this guy, Mark Yokoyama, he passed away, but he got this studio. And if we go over there and check him out, you got to work today. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, sure. Let's do that. Yeah. So I ended up going there. And it kind of hit off. And I was like, man, I kind of like this stuff, let's try to do something. Yeah. So we started doing something. And what a lot of people don't know, right? Our first album, I actually recorded it all myself before I even had the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, actually me and Connor. Yeah. Yeah, we recorded the whole
no band.
Yeah, we had no band.
Wow.
It was just us two. Oh, and Michael. Michael.
At that time, he was playing with Ekolu, drumming.
Playing drums for the shows and stuff?
Yeah. I didn't have because we didn't have nothing, Yeah. So after that, released the album. It kind of hit off here, and then released another one, and just kept playing this scene in Hawaii. And then it wasn't.
But at the time, what was the scene at that time like?
It was you could play everywhere here. Yeah. I was playing at clubs, bars every weekend. Yeah. And you could actually make a decent living here doing that.
Like just gigging.
It's like like Hawaii had its own industry. Almost, you know what I mean? And we were surviving.
Like, and who were some of like the top artists at that time when you guys were coming up, like making this first album? Like, who were like some of the inspirations of the music you guys were doing?
In this industry, I would say Feege, of course. Yeah. Catch a Fire, they were top dogs. Ekolu. Yeah. All of them, man.
Because just seeing Ekolu come from Maui, like where you guys were from, like was that something like kind of inspired you? You could say, okay, so Maui boys can kind of make some noise in this industry.
They weren't the only Maui bands. There was Kohumua, Sly Dog, all these. They had a lot of Maui bands actually. Enough Said, all came from Malino. Yeah, all came from Maui. But yeah, Ekolu is one of them for sure. That was
transitioning to like having that first album that you and Connor made, like. It's still, you guys are still working jobs. You guys still don't know where this is going to take you. Like, what was the aha moment for you guys to kind of say, hey guys, we might be able to do this, but like, because you don't even have a band at that point. It's just you and Kana.
Yeah.
You cut an album. Like, what's the next factor for you guys to get into?
So for us, it was trying to tour.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of the Hawaii scene, and it wasn't until Catch a Fire kind of gave us that opportunity.
Wow.
Where they took us on the road. We tried it ourselves on our own.
Yeah.
And we would, I called on all my friends out in the mainland to try book these shows for us because I didn't know how. And they put me on there, and we maybe sold 1 or 2 tickets at the time,
but like that was the process of like the hardship.
The hardship, exactly.
Because you got to go through those days, to get to these days.
My uncle told me that too. He's one of my first mentors. It's like, you got to understand every aspect of your business.
Yeah.
You got promoting, recording, engineering, vocals, every aspect of it. You got to understand it. So that was one that I didn't understand. So I didn't have a mentor at the time to teach me. And I just tried it. I just jumped and seen what happened, and it didn't do too good. Yeah. We failed. We failed pretty hard. And then I came home, and Uncle Harry Cummings, who was kind of tour managing Catch a Fire at the time, I asked him if I could go on the road with him. And Logie, being the nice guy that he is.
Shout out Logie, man.
My brother right there. They gave us our first shot. And so from going from selling 1 to 2 to 3 tickets, we went to Catch a Fire when they were on there. And they were selling thousands of tickets. So it was a crazy thing for us to see that.
Yeah.
And,
but also soaking it up as a sponge.
I was soaking it up. I was learning, I was studying, and it was a great, some of the craziest times in our lives. I was like, man, we're like reggae rock stars out here.
Yeah, but, and like, that's really how a lot of artists build their careers is through touring. But I think it's kind of like a lot of people don't really understand the value of touring.
Man.
And I've seen you guys on your grind for a long time, man.
Long time, man.
And
long time.
It's good.
Tell us about with the minibus. Remember the minibus?
Oh man, so I think it was Boog's tour.
Yeah.
I didn't have a bunk on that bus.
Yeah.
So then these guys are like, bro, just come on our bus. We get plenty of room.
Hawaiian style.
I was like, oh shoot. When I got on the bus, I slept, woke up, and these guys had a full spread.
Like food.
Spam, eggs, rice, Portuguese sausage. I was like, oh man, Boog's bus, man. I don't want to go back on their bus.
I remember that, man.
Yeah, that was bad. It was fun on their bus.
Yeah.
Like Boog's bus is all like, it was like, man, you guys.
But for us, I always try to make it like that for us because it's a hard thing to be on the road.
Yep.
Man. It's being
you gotta
away
have the
from your
comforts.
family. To be away from your family from that long, you gotta be surrounding yourselves with good people.
Yeah, solid people.
Solid people.
Yeah.
If not, you're gonna fall. Man. I'll tell you, somebody's gonna get into a fight. Somebody's gonna end up killing somebody.
And you guys, did you guys own that bus?
No, we didn't.
Oh, you was renting it?
We rented
oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, we rented it. Yeah.
Did those hardships early on kind of deter you to kind of say, all right, this may not be it for us?
Several times.
Yeah. Like what made you kind of stick to the, because there's people watching now, there's artists watching now that are at that point.
Yeah.
They're saying, this music thing probably ain't for me. Like what made you guys kind of say, now let's stick to it because there is some kind of light at the end of the tunnel?
I always knew that I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So when I was when it happened, I'm like, I'm getting frustrated. I ain't making money. I'm losing my, because I lost a lot of money being on the road. A lot of money. A lot of people would have quit. Yeah. Trying to do this thing. But I always knew I wanted to make it succeed. So it wasn't, for me, I was just I just told myself that I got to make this work, man.
Yeah.
I got to come on this rut and try it and make it work. And throughout the years, it still didn't work, actually. Yeah. I was selling okay tickets, but it wasn't really working hard. Then it wasn't until pandemic hit. Yeah. And I came home, and now we're not touring. We're not playing shows, and I had to figure out something there. That's when I did those lives and everything like that.
Well, because during the pandemic, a lot of people were exposed because at that point you knew who was working and who wasn't working. Come on. And when I kind of seen you with the content, I said, okay, Glenn's working.
I've been.
Because that was a moment where, this artist's not doing that, this artist's not doing that, where I kind of seen you started to discover other things like content, and because everybody was at home and I was doing the Twitch and I was trying to make content for what I was doing, where Staffa was DJing. Also, we had to find a way for you guys to find that way that rolled into something when we did open up. That's something that you guys kind of learned on the fly, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's from that, just trying to figure it out. Yeah. My thing is just don't give up. Don't give up, man. Believe in yourself and do not give up. And if you really do that, if you honestly do that, you'll find a way. But a lot of people, like when the hardships come, that's the first thing they do is they just quit.
Well, we're talking like hardships, like where even your guys' relationships, like you get to have somebody that's loyal that can stick it out, because I see a lot of people that kind of say, yeah, I don't really, but to have this kind of like brotherhood where kind of believes in the vision, and you guys kind of like say, let's ride this out, because trust me, I tell Wes till I'm blue in the face, hey, we're going to blow up someday. Like, all right, I'll hit you later. So to tell you like your brother, like, hey, this is going to work out, for them to trust in you and trust in the work that you guys are doing, I think it comes tenfold, and to see where you guys are at now. Like when
I always think that, I was always a hard worker. So I think that's what kind of made him believe that I would do it, But yeah, he never.
Because you was out if he was a lazy motherfucker, kind of. He was like, this motherfucker playing too much. So
it's just that we've seen so many failures through the process, and it's just the comeback from the failures is, like, oh, we got this,
And that's something we learned. That's something we learn at work.
Yeah,
it's something we learn in sports. You know what I mean? Just got to keep coming back.
Because adversity, you guys went through a lot of adversity, obviously, and
not only through the music, even with us, man.
Yeah,
we weren't always.
It wasn't always peachy clean, also. Yeah,
sometimes fuck you.
Yeah.
But you guys consistently, I was in Cali, in Southern California, and you guys would consistently come, and
Northern California too.
Yeah, you guys would always do your runs, and it's just so dope to see you guys, the hard work you guys put in, and now to come to this place.
Sure.
Sold out shows, your hometown,
because I think if they don't know the journey, it's like that pun, but you'll catch it on there. That'll be a clip. But you don't know the journey, like what you guys are explaining right now. People just think this thing happens overnight. Oh, he just got lucky with a couple songs, but like me and Wes, kind of an a testament to it. We've seen it. Like you guys came to Big Body Radio, and they were like, you guys did Paina Lounge in San Francisco, and like you said, it was a handful of people there, but it was like they was there for the music, and you guys stuck to it. So that's why when me and Wes kind of see now, you roll by in a while, you see the billboards sold out on social media. We kind of like saying, like, man, you deserve it because of the hard stuff that you went. People just can't just say, oh, he just got lucky. You did the footwork and went through that whole process.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And
man.
Too, like you embody so much of like Hawaii, the music that like people were raised on, that and it's a good representation of Hawaii,
And that's one thing that I didn't want to sell myself out with. It's like, because I've talked to many labels, I've talked to many agencies, and they always wanted me to be somebody I wasn't, and I could never do it, man. I couldn't do it. The only person I wanted to be was me, and so I'll be patient, And during the process, I'll learn, and I'll love this journey, because to tell you the truth, man, I got goals in my life that I'm scared shitless to hit, because I set them so high.
You should set it high.
I set it really high.
Like if you set them too low, then it's like you get there too quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I felt that in my life too, right? Where like I remember back in the days, all I wanted to do is just create an album.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do. And after I created an album, I'm like, oh, what's next now?
Yeah.
What's next? Then I make another one, and I'm still not fulfilled.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I think I need to aim a little higher.
Yeah. Well, the hunger's there too, right? Because you talk about your catalog, you talk about your collection of body of work. You guys were always consistently putting out, music, and now to kind of see where the transition was, where you got people, where we got to go to the transition of country, reggae, because you was always doing the island reggae. Like, was country always in the plans down the line?
It's just I grew up on it, man.
Yeah,
and so it's like I always loved it, the melodies, the storylines that country had.
Yeah,
but it's just I never did it.
Yeah.
And as I was,
well, why did you never do it? Because were you afraid that it wasn't gonna hit?
To be honest, no. To be honest, I was scared almost to be who I really was.
Yeah.
And I advise people not to do that, as that's what I was. Because at the time, everybody's about bling bling and all this. I think of it like all these, Tupac was out there, and everybody wanted to be like that. And all Cadillacs and everything like that. And so I'm over here from the country, kind of shy. I'm like, man, I don't know that stuff. I don't even know.
You just know what you know.
Like, I don't even know. So I was like, whatever. I'll act like that too, And it wasn't until I got older. I was just like, man, it's who I am, and I'm not ashamed of it. And ever since I did that, I almost feel like Hawaii now is just like being who they are too,
Yeah.
And everybody's got a little country in them.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So that's what's been pretty much.
So in case you didn't know. cover.
Yeah.
That man, I feel like that one was so not groundbreaking, but it just kind of shifted.
Oh, yeah.
Something for you guys, because even the video, was that all like? Did you guys record that like
Recorded
live?
live, yeah.
Live.
Wow.
Recorded that
So
live.
speak on that. Like
that was Paul Eller from Hawaii's Finest. He called me and he texted me. He's like, "Bro, you should do this song, and give it your own style." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll take a shot." So I started listening to it. And I was like, "Oh, I think I know what I'll do with it." And we didn't think it was gonna do anything. Like we just did it. And the funny thing is, that's what we actually do. We come from that, like just hearing a song off the radio and making it your own.
Yeah.
That's what that Joanne, the Uncle Walter, the Capena, like people think that I'm the originator of country and
Right.
Yeah.
This was being done by the Cow Crater Boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
The OGs, Capena.
Yeah.
They were doing this way before I was.
Yeah.
I just grabbed it and took it here.
Yeah.
Another
but
level.
These guys were doing it way before me.
Yeah.
And
Because country seems to have a huge influence on Hawaiian music, like we were just talking about.
because we live in it.
Yeah.
That's a heavy influence. In fact, that's what I was,
Right.
telling people is about that we Hawaiians are the original cowboys.
Yeah.
A lot of people thinks it's
say it again for those in the
Yeah,
back.
for them in the back. So yeah,
the Hawaiians are the original Paniolas.
Yeah.
The original cowboys. Before Westerns, before they all knew those
Yeah.
movies.
for Bonanza and all the
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Exactly. We learned that from the vaqueros, the Spanish.
Yeah.
And they brought it over to Hawaii to teach us because
the backstory.
they brought over cattle to our kings, and what happened was the cattle ended up going all over the state, all over the islands, and just multiplying and multiplying where they couldn't control it.
Yeah.
And then they were eating all the vegetations and everything, and then they had to fly in people ship
Yeah.
Right.
over people, right? The vaqueros, the Spanish,
Yeah.
to teach us how to contain all this.
Yeah.
And that's when the Paniolos,
Paniolo cowboy. From,
cowboys existed.
See, let's country boy to a city boy, because I'm a straight city boy. So like when I see that transition, it's like, oh, because for me it was like to see country, like we've seen it kind of like people were playing with it, but I think you were the first one to kind of like bring it to the forefront when it was everything. Like, because I remember from your early shows to the shows now, like it was a transition where it was like, okay, we're gonna embrace this country reggae and kind of like do what you guys did with it. I mean, yeah, we've seen it early on, but they didn't do it like to the full max what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Like where you're kind of like, where you're messing with Nashville, you're messing, you got the boots on, you got the hat. Like it was the really transition, because I remember you had the Aloha shirts on when you came to Paina. So it was, so like, was that something you said, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it all the way?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this is who we are.
Yeah.
This is actually, I was this before I went into the law shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that was it was just me being me, man. And kind of rolling with it. And yeah, pretty much.
And now seeing it now, like when you're doing shows, I think that I kind of got a taste of it when we did a show in Las Vegas, and it was at the Virgin, sold out. But I never seen so many Hawaiians, Samoans, Tongans come with belt buckles, boots, hats. I'm like, where'd y'all get these from? Because when I seen it, but it was like a movement to where I'm like, dude, this, and me kind of being in the music scene where it's like R&B, hip hop, island reggae. I kind of seen the transition where like I've done a lot of shows, but I've never seen shows like this where everything was embraced to the culture, where you kind of like brought this genre of country reggae to the forefront, where it's now accepted by, and like people don't know that backstory right now. So if you're on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, they just kind of just did that. But no, you guys been doing this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like something that me and Wes always with artists, we want to tell this story because people make their assumptions of it. Like, oh, Glenn just started wearing the hat, because they don't know the backstory.
Yeah.
And I think to have this story and to have to tell the people where these boots and come from, because I can't even find a boot. I kind of don't know if you found boots in your size, but they cost a lot of money.
Had some big ass boots.
But now that you're in this lane, now that you're coming to Oahu, you did Maui, when you're having these sold out shows, like what's the next move for Maoli to kind of say, you know what, we're kind of a staple in this country reggae where we're kind of bringing this to the mainstream forefront?
Well, for us now, it's we're about to, I don't want to like spill the beans right now, but yeah, we're doing some stuff out in Nashville right now.
Yeah. Don't give them too much,
yeah,
but you already do.
Yeah.
So, because that was inevitable to happen, right?
that was
Because
inevitable.
Nashville definitely had to take notice of what you were doing and kind of say, look, something got to happen between
Yeah, for
Nashville and Maoli, because, like I said, we think of Nashville, that's the home of country. And you know, my parents kind of grew up and they played a few country songs, but I would mix it out with some hip hop songs. But that's neither here nor there. But where do you see this genre going? Do you see other artists kind of embracing this, where you can say, okay, Maoli did it, we could do it too?
I think they already are, actually. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of people do it. You know, I think it might become something. I hope it does.
Yo, so I want to know about the MMO idea and project, and because that's when I feel like things just took another turn.
Oh, the Maoli music overload you're speaking of.
Yeah, the Maoli music overload.
Get into the detail.
No, because you were dropping a song every month, right?
Every month. Well, this is a part of that failure. You know what I mean? I just knew that, you know, even coming from, in case you didn't know, I was dropping albums every 2 years, but I realized one thing when we was in that pandemic, man, and how much people are just like this.
Right.
They just want it now. If you don't like it, you got 3 seconds
phones,
to catch their attention. So it's about the attention.
Yeah.
And I felt like, man, I can't drop an album every 2 months. I got to be in their face all the time. If I want this
consistently,
if I want to have these songs actually get recognized or at least, you know, get some justice here. And that's what I did, man. I strategized. I don't want to say I strategized it, but
no, that's huge.
That's what we did. I brought it to the team and I said, listen, I want to drop a song every month, not just a song. I want to do a song and a music video every single month.
Come on, man. Take notes. If you guys are watching, you're an artist, take notes now. Get the notepad out.
And we did this. We did this for a year, maybe a little over a year, and I watched everything just grow. And that's when I was studying it, and I was just like, wow, these guys are really getting into this. And that's when I wanted to go on tour and headline my own. I felt like that.
Like you broke the algorithm. Like you broke into it where it's like the content was consistent.
Oh yeah.
Like at the point, like me and Wes would hit each other and be like, man, he got another one.
Oh yeah.
He got another one.
Yeah,
and then he'd hit me. I said, I'm about tired of Glenn right now. But that was a good thing. You wanted people to be tired of it because they said, damn, he's working. And then we kind of noticed it because, I mean, we're not saying all artists wasn't doing what you was doing. I'll put it at that. Okay. And then when we had said that, then they can't complain if they're not putting in the work.
Can't, man.
So, and like I said, it's not to take away from any other artists out there, but if you see the fruits of the labor that you guys are doing, sold out shows, you know what I mean? And we're doing what you guys are doing. Did you kind of know that going on, or you just kind of took a chance on saying, look, if I don't do this, who else? I mean, nobody else is going to do it, so I might as well try it out. Yeah,
I was always that guy. I'm a risk taker, man. Yeah. Like you see it in my gambling sometimes. Well, yeah, I just felt like I wanted to try it and I wanted to do it, and I wouldn't stop, man.
Yeah.
But that's, to me, that's something that, you know, you've been in the game for a minute, you know, and for you to realize that and make that adjustment, you know, where it's like anybody could do it, but not everybody's doing it, you know.
Nobody. That's the real truth right there, because even if you're looking at the success, right, I'm like, here, it's right here.
Right.
You can have
There's no secret.
There's no secret.
The formula is there.
But the thing is, 90% of you won't do it.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to tell me that you tell me you want it until you see what I've been through to get it. And you're going to, you know, I want to see you go through, you know, losing money, bankruptcies, divorce, you know, losing that. It takes a toll on you, man. And that's through all that sacrifice, man. I don't take any of it back, man. I don't regret it because I've learned so much through it. So much. And I look back at my life too, and I'm just like, if I had told my younger self that, okay, this is what you want, you're going to get to this place, but this is what you're going to go through to get it, I would have set my ass on the couch. I wouldn't have moved. Yeah. There's a reason why that I didn't need to see it. Yeah. You know, I had to learn it through trial and error. Yeah. You know, and a lot of people, like 90% of them, I would tell you they probably won't do it. Yeah. They won't do it.
What about you, kind of like, didn't just transition where you kind of seen all this come about? Like, you know, the content was going to use, and you're a part of this. Like, did you kind of see this same vision that G had, or you kind of took some time for you to catch on?
Man, this guy's brain and his plans, he just takes it and runs with it. Yeah. You know? I don't need to tell you, just all you need to follow. Yeah. You ain't in the way.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean?
He ain't lying, man. He ain't lying. I'm just like, if you see me, like you see me right now, like I'm not really working. I'm having a good time, just talking, drinking good tequila, you know. But if you see me on the daily, like like that's I tell like I love my brothers and everything, and like I'm glad you want to try to come over here and work, but I'm a workaholic.
Yeah,
I wake up in the morning. I do my stuff, my cold plunging, and just to get my body, my mind right, and everything. And
just for those who don't know, I seen the cold plunge at Glenn's house because that get bit. But we were drinking over there, and I seen the cold plunge. There's no way me and Connor's gonna fit in this cold plunge, by the way. So it's made for small people, but. When we talk about cold plunge, I wanted that to segue into like the healthy lifestyle now.
Yeah.
Because you was a big brother before.
Yes, I was.
So that transition in your work of coming, you know, with the trials and tribulations, was health like something that you had to say, okay, look, if I'm going to do this, I kind of got to be my best at that, because we seen you go through the process with the cold plunges and losing the weight. They got to tell us about that.
And I had to because I knew it was affecting my work ethic. You know, I mean, I was, my mind is like, I want to rush through this wall. I'm going to get what I want to get. But my body was telling me I'm tired. My body was telling me I got, you know, sending me to the ER a couple times, you know. And that's why I knew. I was like, okay, if I want to get to this level, I gotta make sure my mind's right. I gotta make sure my body's right. And that's when I started to take that health journey and learning about cold plunges, saunas, and, you know, vitamins.
Because you went hard in the paint.
Oh man!
I went to go post a birthday picture of you, and it was Brother G. And I said, you look from Brother G, those the early pictures to now. It's like, hey, that's the same person.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of wanted people to kind of know, like, that's part of this journey. It's like part of the journey. The health has to be part of it, because you got to be at your best, healthy and physically, to kind of see what you want to attain. Because like you said, your mind was saying go there, but your body was like, nah, sit your ass down and eat a taco or something.
Yep, that's right. Man.
Yeah,
that is right.
There's R. Kelly going on.
but going forward, like what's next for Maoli? Like, this is the boots on the ground tour, your Hawaii homecoming, but now you're always evolving, you're always going forward. Like, we already talked about this. We won't give too much about the Nashville thing, but what's next for Maoli as far as the brand?
The brand, well, I have my goals, man, my dreams that I've always wanted to do as far as venues go.
Yeah,
I want to, you know, I want to hit these big ones, man. Mm-hmm. I'm going for the arenas, the stadiums.
Why not?
Speaking about the Nashville show, though.
Yeah.
You guys performed in Nashville, right?
Yeah, we performed in Nashville.
How was that?
It was a lot of musicians was there. It was sold out.
Yeah.
And to be in Nashville, that was our first time in Nashville too.
Man.
At playing.
Yeah.
And I love that city, man. I love that whole place. It got a crazy vibe out there. But it was good. It was a good experience, man. Yeah. Gramps Morgan.
Shout out Gramps Morgan,
Nashville resident.
Yeah. He came in. He came out to see us, and it was so good to see him.
Shout out to Gramps.
Yeah. My brother Gramps came out, and he got to witness the show, and I think it was a good time for him too, because of what he was, you know, about Peter and everything.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace.
And rest in peace to Peter Morgan, man.
It's my brother right there, and they got to enjoy the show, and I think that kind of fired him up to do music again too. You know, he had a good talk with me back there. We had a good conversation.
So I want to ask you, I've noticed probably the one person that you've collabed with the most is Big Bro Feej.
Mm-hmm.
So just, you know, if you could enlighten our listeners to your relationship with Feej.
Well, Feej he's a brother to me. He's a real brother to me. Like, I don't even call him a friend, man. That guy's a brother to me. We've been through a lot of stuff together, you know. We're still doing so. He's been there for me when I was in my darkest times. Yeah. And because I know that he's been there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say there's a difference between heroes and villains. You know, the hero is the ones that been through it and don't want you to experience the pain that they've been through. And villains want you to experience the pain that they've been through. And Fee's just definitely a hero. You know, he comes over there and you know, gives you the mana'o you need, your wisdom that he has, his forward wisdom.
Feej is like a walking fortune cookie. I tell you that, boy.
I'm telling you.
He has a one. He like, if you go up to the top, send the elevator back down. Would you remember, G? He was like, oh yeah, Feej. I was like, man, well, Feej must be pulling these. Yes, when you make it to the top, make sure you send the elevator back down.
That's him.
So I told him, I said, what Sun Tzu book you get that out of? Because I hadn't heard that before, Feej. Because Feej be going on, but like I said, he's a mentor and he's a brother to us. Yeah. Like in the scene where you have other acts like Comic Kings and Boog and everybody that's in this thing. So when you guys see each other at the festivals, everyone, it's like, One Love was for something for me. It's almost still competitive with a friendly competition, but in a way, you guys are all in the same business, where you guys take that stage where it's still kind of like, okay, if he goes on, I got to do, you know, like that. Is that still like a friendly competition that you see today?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
guarantee. Like we're always out. Well, I am. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm always going out there. I'm not in competition with them, but I'm in competition with being the baddest I can be. And the conversations that I have when it comes to that is like, man, I'm very competitive. You know, I think, you know, I don't want to sound conceited or anything, but I have.
That's confidence. It's confidence in what you do.
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
There's a big difference.
But some people will take it as
absolutely,
because they don't understand this level of frequency that I'm in right now. It's just like, I'm hungry, man.
But exactly what you just said. I think when people do see the success, you do get the shit talkers and the assumes and the assumptions and all that, because especially with this show now, like 2 sold out shows at the Blaisdell. We're talking about like things that are like, we're not, when we say sold out, we're talking about the whole damn thing. We're not just talking about half of the thing. So when you do like that, you're going to have the naysayers. How do you kind of see a comment or see a post of something that's negative and not let it get to you and your team?
Well, I don't
affect you guys, my bad.
One, I don't let it control any part of my emotions. You know, I look at as a comment, I look at a comment the same way I look at it as a negative one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why some people tell me, Glenn, you're the GOAT. I'm like, hey, thank you, right on.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, you're a piece of shit. Thank you, right on, man.
So it has to be the same response every time.
Yeah. It doesn't, if I was to live my life, right? If I was to live my life off of your perspective of me, come on, I would.
Exactly.
I'm going to be living in your fantasy. I'm going to be living in your hate or your jealousy. No, man, I know who I am. I know what I want to be. And there's nothing that you're going to do to take that away from me. You know, it's just a matter of God's timing.
And that's why, like, people don't know how rare this is for us, because you don't do podcasts. You don't do interviews. You know, and like, I don't think people realize where, you know, I think we've had Feej on twice. We've had, you know, all the boys on here, but because the exclusivity of kind of sitting down, where me and you talked about this and you were like, I really don't do podcasts, but I felt like people needed to know this story, because they're already going to make their own assumptions and then kind of like make their own ending. But now that they hear it from your mouth to their ears, they can solidify and they have the credibility of what your success is. So like, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to do hella other podcasts, but like, is that something that you, now that that you see yourself doing this podcast, that you're glad that people are starting to see this light of you on this other end?
To be honest, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Get him, G. Get him, G.
I don't give a
I'll be a bartender for Mr. Kava Man over here. So there you go. There you go, Wes.
Party going. No, but you know what, Glenn, you actually are real transparent just in your content that you create, you know, and I think that's enough right there, you know, like.
Yeah, man, it's I'm just true to myself, man. And that's what I hope that people do for themselves. It's like, man, just be honest with yourself. If you're trying to be an artist, man, just be honest with yourself. If you are that guy, be that guy. There's just one of you, man. Yeah. That's it. There's only one of me. That's it.
And how's so like with social media and everything, like you've obviously with creating content, are you always finding yourself have to adapt to what's new, the newest thing? Like, you know, if it's not Instagram, it has to be TikTok or it has to be YouTube. Like, do you find yourself in a struggle with trying to keep up with the times?
It's kind of a struggle, but it's almost like it's part of the game. You know what I mean? It's part of the music business. Yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta study the trends. You gotta study what's happening out there. It's part of the business, man. A lot of people who don't do that, they're only doing music. Yeah. Right. I mean, and this is a music business. It's not a music. You know, you make music to create business, and you get business, and then you make more music.
So, you know what I mean? So to segue from that, you are fully independent. You're in charge of everything pretty much. So to artists or bands or whatever that are thinking maybe they need, you know, to have that middleman or whatever, what do you say?
What's your advice for them?
My honest opinion is it depends on what they want. Yeah. You know what I mean? If they want that stardom right there and then, go sign yourself a 360 deal. Maybe you might get it, you know? I didn't believe in that. I always encourage artists to do it independently. Why? Is because you need to, there's levels to this, man. Yeah. There's levels. And you need to see these levels. There's level 1, there's level 2, there's level 3. And if you cheat that, maybe you might get to there. But sooner or later, life is just going to expose you because you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to expose you.
And it's going to bring you right back down.
Yeah.
And so you need to, I encourage them to go from that bottom and work your way up.
Yeah.
Because through all those levels, there's the lessons. Mm-hmm. And those lessons you're not going to learn with somebody doing your work. Yeah. Or somebody, because even those this damn label's going to hate me right now. But,
I'm going to say no names.
Yeah, I ain't saying no names, but they're going to hate me right now. But it's like, yeah, you can have them invest in you. They can have it, but they can't guarantee you shit.
Yeah. At the end of the day.
At the end, they can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But if you believe in yourself, if you just keep working every day, fail, get back up, fail again, get back up.
It's the process.
You'll get there, bro.
Yeah.
You know? And if you don't, hey, you did a hell of a rap.
But like being business minded, like as an artist too, like we're talking about other ventures. Like you can't just be, you know, there's touring, there's music, there's streaming, there's a little bit of everything. But you also, if I recall, we done taste a little bit of your new alcohol that's about to come out.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about this tequila. So tell us about the tequila that's about to come out.
I got tequila coming out. I'm doing a soft launch in November.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a full launch in January. But yeah, I got a tequila coming out. And if you guys know me, which I know you guys,
yes, absolutely,
I love tequila.
Do we? We done had a whole infomercial at his house. He poured the tequila in his hand, in everybody's hand. He said, "Rub it," and then he's like, "See, it's not sticky." I was like, "Well, now there goes the shot I was about to take because." But like we were talking about additives,
he was
like
licking
that.
his hand.
I was like, "Cool." So that was a cool little thing. But do you find yourself like being an entrepreneur now?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like this being one of your ventures, like you see every, like George Clooney did with Casamigos, a lot of these, you know, actors and athletes and artists. But is this something that's kind of, it has to make sense, we talked about, right?
Exactly. I don't just get into, I used to.
Yeah.
And I had many businesses fail on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found out that, you know, I want to do stuff that I'm into. I'm not here to try to make money anymore. I want to do stuff that gives me challenges that I love to do, and all that stuff comes after. But yeah, from the very core, I even tell, you know, people that, you know, it's hard to say this, but I'm a businessman before I'm a musician.
Yeah.
And you have to be that way.
Gotta
especially
be.
in music, bro.
Yeah.
This business is 90% business and 10% talent.
Yeah.
And if you only learn that talent, somebody else is going to do your business.
Yes.
And that 90% is where that 90% is going.
Preach to him, G.
Like,
Come
that's
on.
where it's going. If you don't, you don't understand this. I really advise these younger artists, learn your business.
Yeah. Your business, not the business, your business.
Your business. Learn all of this stuff, where it's going, what's happening. And so that somebody doesn't do it for you. I see a lot of complaints, man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, they ripped me off. They didn't rip you off.
Yeah.
Man. You didn't know business.
Yeah.
You didn't know how they do it.
The complaint box is full.
The first level, to me, like the first thing you didn't know about success is you need to take 100% responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is tough nowadays.
It's tough nowadays. Yeah. It's really tough. I see people like, man, if you take 100% responsibility for yourself or your actions, when you lose and you take 100% responsibility, you lost. But when you win and you take 100% responsibility for that, it's because it's because of you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
that's what's going on right now.
That's what's going on right now. Like I take full responsibility over this. It was like, oh, you sell out 2 shows. You think I'm surprised?
Yeah. Because you knew this.
I knew this.
Yeah.
I knew this.
Because you believed in your product and you believed in the hustle that you was doing.
I believed in it. And I worked hard for it. You know, this is what happens.
Yeah.
When this, you know, I'm you know, I can be the humble guy too, but it's like, if you really want to know the truth, go out there, create a work ethic, bust your ass.
Yeah.
Go out there and learn it.
And I think there's a lot of things are sugar coated like that. We always try to say, you know, oh, we play the humble road.
Yeah.
Right. But when you go the route and kind of tell these people, nah, the humbleness is cool every now and then, but you got to be told the truth.
And that's what I was trying to tell you too.
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm coming on this thing, the reason why I don't want to do this podcast is because some people don't want to hear the truth.
Yes, absolutely. They can't handle the truth.
They can't handle it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why thank you for allowing me to come on here and tell the truth.
Thank you, because I definitely, when we had that conversation at your house and I said, that's what it's about. It's not about just having G as another guest. It was kind of like the truth has to come out because some people can't swallow that hard truth.
Man.
And when they see somebody that's viable and successful as you are in your shoes, now they can relate.
Yeah.
Now the verbiage is right. Now the translation starts. It's not getting lost in translation.
Well, I think it should be inspiring. If anything,
absolutely. If anything, inspiring. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really hope so, man.
So you have how long is your sets? I know this is going to be showing post show, but how long are the sets going to be for the sold out shows?
Like a little over an hour 15.
Well, we saw the show. Is it the same? Pretty much the same.
Yeah, same.
Come on.
So you have. I mean, that's probably like 5% of your songs that you. Can really do. So how hard is that to like narrow down?
Pick and choose. Yeah.
Are you focusing more on the MMO stuff?
Well, I study a lot of what my fans love. And out of all those songs, those are the top ones that I can fit in that moment. And I also have to figure out what flows everything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just, when I create a set, I can't just say, okay, put these 15 songs, 17, 20 songs here.
Take song number 3 out.
Yeah, so it's like...
So you have to handpick and choose.
Damn, these
Got
inside
it.
jokes.
Yeah. Are you getting bit? I keep getting bit.
Oh, yeah, it's like, I have to. It's a mixture of, you know, finding their favorite songs, but also creating an experience and a roller coaster. Because like when you come to our shows, I'm not just singing these songs. I chose these songs and I created this set for an experience. Yeah, I want you to come out there. That's why the way I create the lights, the way I create the songs, the way when I bring them up here and I bring them down here.
And you have a big hand in that.
Like, I have all that.
Yes,
all that. From the top to the all of, I'm sorry, from the bottom all the way to the top. Yeah. I am one of those guys where I have to understand how high my trust is, how much tons I can carry from this stage, and how much this costs down to everything. Yeah. Wow. I have my hands on the way the light shines on my face, the clothes that I'm wearing, the note that he's playing. You know, we'll be at practice, right? I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know what to
Well, let me just tell you, in Maui, he had an outfit on. It was just like John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. But boy, that boy was cold. He was so do you style your own style? You style your own outfits for the shows?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, my man.
I came a long way from a little shirt. You know?
Man, I got to show you this picture. When we were at Pina Lounge, he had one of them brother shirts on. I was like, oh. I came a long way from this, but like the experience we're talking about, like
that's what I.
When you're in the backstage watching that.
In fact, that had a big thing to do with the MMO project. Yeah, is that I wanted to create songs. I'm glad you bring that up. Is because this is why I wanted to go back to the country. Yeah, and the reggae, because country is a storytelling, you know, and all that stuff. And when I think of Hawaii, right? When I thought of Hawaii, it's like. When we have our funnest jam sessions, is it about who can sing the best? Yeah. Is it about who sings the best? No. It's the song that everybody can sing.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And that's the songs that I want to create. Yeah. I want to create the songs that everybody can sing and that everybody can dance to, everybody can relate to.
Timeless.
It's timeless, you know? And when I go out there, that's why it's never about me when I go out there. It's about them.
The experience.
The experience. Yeah. You know, I want them to come out with their cowboy hats and come, even if they're not country. Everybody got a little country in them.
Come on.
Even if it's not.
I tried to find it in me. I can't find it yet, but it's in there somewhere.
You're the only one I see with cowboy hat and Nikes.
Because also, like, we had to adjust, like you bringing us on for this, where, you know, we adjust to our artists that we work with.
Oh yeah.
So that, you know, when you say you're doing a Maoli show, like me and Wes, Glenn came in our dressing room and he thought we were ready to party.
That's right.
And I had my laptop out, Wes had his laptop out, and G opens the doors like, ready to party. And we're like, oh, not right now, G. Because we're going over our list, because we have to make sure that our set matches your crowd. Yeah. So, you know, we do a lot of work because we know it's a country crowd. So how do we kind of like segue that into our set? So just kind of doing that.
That was amazing to see, by the way, because for me, I only see you guys as, you know, every time I'm with you, we're having a good time and everything. So to see you guys, you know, super professional, you're over there like strategizing. I opened the door and I wanted to see some stuff. At the same time, I was like, man, these guys are working.
Well, we had to come with it, you know?
Man. Because there's a lot of pressure on us too, because we were like, okay, look, it's a sold out Maoli show. There's a bunch of cowboy hats and boots out there. How are we going to fit into this piece of the puzzle?
I just found Snoop Dogg or something.
Yeah. So we said that we're like, we'd be a little offset, but we call this bulletproof playlist that Wes has. Yeah. We call it the white boy playlist, where it's like, if we won't do it, we would come in with songs that kind of just matched everybody's vibe.
Right.
And we'll throw a couple like rap songs in there to kind of get everybody off of their feet.
Right.
But it just flowed. And like the experience, because we know you bring an experience, we try to bring an experience to the audience. Absolutely. And get them set up for you guys.
Like you were saying about the sing-along stuff, it's like we could play stuff, but obviously we want to do our stuff too, but we want the crowd to be involved with what we're doing too. So,
and that's exactly what you guys do. Yeah. And that's why I said, Cisco, get your butt down here.
Because we were like, we made him sure it happened. But then after we were doing our set, we watched your set. And then when we watched you guys set, we're like, dude, this is like an experience. Like, it was a story being told.
Yes.
Like, you could have just threw a bunch of songs together and did the same set over and over, but you kind of like adapt to what this is your hometown crowd. Like, for each one you guys have it, they had the lights out. Then you have like, I won't tell the whole show. You got to go buy a ticket for the next one. But it's definitely an experience. Like,
but it's crazy. Like, man, I was at one point in front of the house, and I'm just like, this guy just got hit after hit after hit. I was like, damn.
Like, we were like, you can't miss. Like, you trip because, like, G's our boy. So, but after every song, we're like, damn, he didn't even do this song. He didn't even do this song. Like, you left a lot out of the show.
That's why I was asking about the set list, because it's like.
Funny story, because you're gonna air this after this, right? Yeah. So it's a funny story. It's like, I actually had a lot more songs I had to put on this set, but because, like myself, I'm so involved with the whole production of this show, I didn't have the time to put these songs on, because I have to make everything match.
Flow,
so, everything has to flow correctly. So if I could just add this song on, and maybe it might be okay, but I have to create a show.
Yeah.
I have to segue into these certain songs, and I didn't have enough time to do that. Yeah. So that's why you got this version. But then maybe next year.
But Connor, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, so I want to talk about two covers that you did, older ones. Yeah. The James Ingram, right?
So look, let me just tell you something. 100 Ways, if you don't perform that, we might have a problem, because that's one of my favorite songs. The James Ingram cover that you got to tell us about, like, how that even came about.
So that was back in 2012, I think. 2012, yeah. It was my boy Josh Cavallo.
Big up to Josh.
Shout out Josh, man.
Cavallo, man. And I was doing this album with him and Leslie.
Shout out Ben Waller.
Yeah, Ben Waller. And then Damon Williams. We were on this album. And I had like 11 tracks, I think, I believe. And I needed one more. I don't know how much tracks were, but I just knew I need one more. And then that's when I asked, and then Josh came up and said, man, maybe we should do James Ingram. I was like, okay, that's cool. What song?
Man. James is rolling over in his. Is James dead? James heard that, he'd be rolling over in his grave right now. He might be alive.
So the other one I wanted to talk about was the Jimmy Cliff.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He thought that was your guys' song.
Wow.
The Journey.
Oh yeah, man. I was fighting tooth and nail with a dude. I said, no, that's Maoli. I was like, nah, it's like, you know what, we can fight.
But what made, I mean, that obviously is a huge song, but what?
I was a big fan of that song.
Yeah.
It was a vibe that I always wanted to do. I actually used to sing it with the ukulele before.
Oh wow.
And so now it's just like, man, if these guys like covers, then I'm just do this one.
You made that one your own.
Yeah.
Well, to a fact that I thought it was your own, but that's neither here nor there. But like, do you find yourself, like, I always say that when people say, oh, Glenn does too many covers, do you feel like you have to segue that into saying, I do covers because it opens them up to your music?
No, to me, they're asking themselves the wrong question.
Yeah, come on, tell them, G.
The wrong question.
Yeah.
Whether I do a cover or I do an original.
Yeah.
The question you got to ask yourself is, how does it make you feel?
Right. Man.
What matters if it makes you feel great? Then what does it matter if it's a cover or an original? To me, if you don't like covers, then you better bring Whitney Houston out of the picture.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley, UB40.
UB40, yeah. All these people who did these covers.
You just ask yourself the wrong question.
Yeah.
And to me, UB40 is one of my favorite reggae bands of all time.
Come on, man.
And I don't give a crap if it's a cover,
But speaking about UB40, like, what are some collabs that you haven't done that down the line? If you had like a dream collab, what would be a collab for you to collab with?
Dream, living or dead?
Both. One living, one dead.
Ooh. Prince.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Prince. And living, Zach Brown.
Zach Brown.
Zach Brown.
Come on, man. And that's not far-fetched.
What about you? What about you?
What about you, Connor?
Collab?
Yes.
Shit, I don't even sing.
Well, just to hear.
Well, we wanted to thank you guys for coming, man, because I know that you guys are going to get ready for this because I'm waiting for the tequila before I head back. The tequila's coming out in November. Yeah. Is that what you're coming
November,
out?
Yeah, there's a song.
And what's the name of the tequila?
Rascal.
If you go, I'll pour this tequila on you. Did you get bit? But any shout outs before you get up out of here, Glenn?
I just want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, my brother.
Dragging me out of my house.
Yeah, man.
Even though I didn't want to go, you keep coming and you keep coming.
Hey, look, I've been consistent on pressing them.
I love your consistency. So, of course, I just want to thank you guys for having us out here. Thank my brother for coming with me. I asked him literally
so I don't get fined.
I was like, man, let's go do this podcast with them.
Yeah, man.
I just thank you guys. Thank you, iHeart Radio and Island 98.5, sorry, for allowing us to do this here.
Shout out Big Cole. Shout out Run with the team.
Big Cole, my big brother right there.
Connor, any shout outs for you, brother?
Shout out Hawaii, man.
Yeah, come on.
You guys, big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All my fans, all the fans that come and continue to support our music, support the shows. Thank you guys so much. We love you.
Come on, Wes.
Actually, I just have one more question.
Yes.
It's gonna be probably a hard question then.
Yeah.
But if you can just pick one song that's like your favorite that you
come on, Wes.
Or maybe two. Top two.
No, one. Keep it one.
All right, one. For both of you.
It's a song I didn't do yet.
Okay, Kanye. Okay, Connor, one song.
Just say your favorite, like that. You know what I mean? Like
on the real, one of my funnest. Yeah, I'd probably be every night, every morning.
Oh man.
Right now, every night, every morning, just because the fans. Like it's just one of those songs where
that resonates.
That's
a hitter
to the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
Man. Shout out Maddie and Tay. Thank you for allowing me to do that song.
Connor?
I'd say just a Goodbye Maoli, One Love.
Man, come on. Connor, Glenn, Maoli, my brothers, for what's stopping for your boy Big Body Cisco, Western Conference Podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, man.